that 526 plus applications per day of a refugee. That may go to 1,000 per day a refugee. And after 4, 5, 6 years, those applications may get rejected also. Then they will be losing their 5 years. And then what after that?
Well, one problem that I have come across is that CBSA officers, when people land here at a Canadian airport,
that students are protesting to get their PRs, and many are involved in the fake marriages, contract marriages. As you mentioned that there are so many posts that we are gay marriages, that I don't want to go back because I'm a gay, so I want to apply for a PR status. That's a fake, maybe genuine also, we don't know. But these kind of trends are going on because they want to get a PR. So what is the role of the government in this? Why they don't look into this? Why they do a blind eye?
That is why, we are seen as a soft target, that getting PR to Canada is easy. True. No, that's why it's not a transactional problem. It's a long-term problem.
Why protests are going on by the students? We feel sympathy with them. That protests are doing just to get the PR. So they are struggling. They paid so much of fees here. They study. They did whole of their studies here. After that, they have to protest. Canada is becoming a protest country now? If someone comes as a student, no one goes back. They settle themselves in this country. And when it says it's not guaranteed, then we have a mass immigration. We have number of people here. Now that's why we are seeing mass protest here. So what is the impact of mass immigration on employment of the Canadian youths also?
This momentum needs to build before they will take it seriously. Otherwise, they will not.
So we have Darshan Maharaja with us in the studio today, who is a blogger and also keep an eye on the social issues which impacts our country, our people. And we'll be discussing the issues of mass immigration, the issues of fake marriages, protests going on to get the PR, and fake refugee applicants also. So all these issues impact Canadian people, Canadian societies. Darshanji, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Nitinji. Thank you for having me.
Darshanji, these topics we'll be discussing, these are very serious concerns because Canadian people are watching what is happening across us. To start with, the fake refugee applications, the fake marriages are going on in the country. So you keep an eye on the social issues. What you'll say on this issue?
Yeah, it's a growing problem, Nitinji. And surprisingly, or maybe not surprisingly, it's not getting much play in the mainstream media. It's only, people like us who are individually on social media who are talking about this. The other day we saw that post on social media where someone said that he is planning to declare that he is gay and therefore cannot go back to their country and apply for refugee status. Then yesterday we saw another post where someone said that I am permanent resident here, and if someone wants to enter into a contract marriage, which is mainly for gaining permanent residency, then they are charging $35,000 to $40,000. These are growing problems. I think they need more attention from the media and from the politicians.
So from the media and from the government, these issues need to be addressed so that more damage cannot be done to the Canadian society, because we talked about the refugee applications. We have the data from the refugee board also. The data says in last 5 months, from January to May, 5 months, 79,526 applications were submitted, and which means 526 applications per day, refugee applications, and most of them are students also, are visitor also. Why a visitor or a student is applying for a refugee status?
Well, one problem that I have come across is that CBSA officers, when people land here at a Canadian airport on visitor visa, they are advising the person to apply for refugee status. Now, I have been told that this is strictly not according to the law. They are not supposed to give any legal advice.
But is this confirmed that the officers are themselves advising them, or we have heard from somewhere?
No, it has been posted on social media, and some 51 people who arrived from India a couple of days ago at Montreal airport. The social media post said that CBSA officers advised them to file for refugee status, although they had a visitor visa.
But Darshanji, we cannot confirm the social media because there are many fake news also. We cannot confirm this, whether that's a confirm that officer themselves advised them or they ask them, because always when there are fake documents on the airport or border, officers ask them to leave back, go back, or we won't allow you into the country. But that is also true that applicants are applying for a refugee status. Even we have international students here, those who are getting tough time to get a PR or a work permit, they are applying for a refugee. We know about the Conestoga College also, number of applications were much higher from that college too.
True, we cannot rely on social media posts as authentic. But that's where I am saying the mainstream media needs to dig into this when something comes to surface. For example, in November last year, I posted about a food bank in Brampton that had put a board saying no international students, and it caught the attention of mainstream media. They all investigated it and reported on it. So that is what I expect to see even in this. Now, for international students, again, this goes back to maybe around November or December last year, when it was someone found out through ATIP application that over the past 4 years or so, some 16,000 international students had applied for refugee status. So these are now growing concerns. I was looking at a chart by United Nations High Commission for Refugees, UNHCR, where the over the past 10 years, the number of asylum claims in Canada has increased by almost 1200%.
In Canada?
In Canada. And this year, as the numbers you cited, if they hold for the whole year, it will be even higher than that. Yes. May reach around 2000% over 11 years. That is an explosive growth, and investigations are warranted.
Who brought these protesting students? Because students are in the islands also. We have seen the PI islands that students are protesting to get their PRs. And many are involved in the fake marriages, contract marriages. As you mentioned that there are so many posts that we are gay marriages, that I don't want to go back because I'm a gay, so I want to apply for a PR status. That's a fake, maybe genuine also, we don't know. But these kind of trends are going on because they want to get a PR. So what is the role of the government in this? Why they don't look into this? Why they do a blind eye?
I think the rules are too lax. That is why, we are seen as a soft target, that getting PR to Canada is easy. So once you shut down the international student path, or reduce the numbers there, then people will opt for other methods, like declaring themselves to be LGBTQ, or entering contract marriages. Those things will grow. They have existed for a long time, we know that, but now the trend is of explosive growth. That the government needs to come down stricter on that.
But if someone says I'm a gay, I'm a LGBTQ category, and later on just to get a PR, and later on the career they may face the consequences, because in the government records he might be a gay, but later on, if that's a fake, later on he may get other benefits as a
yeah. Yeah, true. No, that's why it's not a transactional problem. It's a long-term problem. So, I mean, investigations are needed. That's what I can say. I cannot prescribe what the government should do, but definitely, this needs to be at least on their radar, which it is not now.
And why protests are going on by the students? We feel sympathy with them, that protests are doing just to get the PR. So they are struggling. They paid so much of fees here. They They did whole of their studies here. After that, they have to protest. Is Canada becoming a protest country now?
It looks like that. But there is this disconnect between what promises are made in India and the reality or the law in Canada, where it is not guaranteed. The government policy straight away says very clearly that it is not guaranteed. It is possible to get PR. But they have, bought the dream that this is guaranteed, and maybe there is some political backing for that, but it's causing a lot of friction in the society. That is where I see the biggest problem. Yes. Because a lot of people have turned against immigrants, We have discussed this before that immigrants from India were seen as model minority, and now we are seen as a problem minority. So these are long-term problems.
You said that mainstream media is not touching these issues?
Not that I have seen.
Okay.
I'm only seeing it on Twitter, and mainly when I post something, I see a lot of replies saying all Indians need to go back, all Indians will be deported, including this morning. Someone said, all Indians need to go back. So that is not how we want Canada to be, where a lot of people are against one minority. Canada has always been about accepting newcomers and then those newcomers being productive. That entire structure is being demolished now because of mass immigration. I'm also seeing problems when because all these international students, they can't afford a high rent, so they are living 15 in a basement or 15 in a house, and then they are creating nuisance for the neighbors. Because the homeowner is just an investor, he is not interested in maintenance of the property, including the front yard and backyard. The tenants are not bothered. So it's creating friction on multiple levels, and that is where the biggest societal problem is going to be in the future, in my opinion.
Darshanji, we feel that without the workforce we have, that is of international students. With that, Canadian economy runs. That is must. And for last so many years, last 40, 50 years, we have the workforce coming from overseas as international students or as a spousal cases. With that, Canada is running. But thing is, like, when they come with good, the bad elements also come. Good are working, they are working hard, making their careers. The bad element make disturbances. Then the other thing is the policies. What is the government's policies on this? If they come, it's not guaranteed they get a PR, but there should be a path. There should be when they did a study of 4 years, normally nobody goes back. That's a record shows that if someone comes as a student, no one goes back. They settle themselves in this country. And when it says it's not guaranteed, then we have a mass immigration. We have number of people here. Now that's why we are seeing mass protest here. So what is the impact of mass immigration on employment of the Canadian youths also?
Very good point, and this is again going to be a very major problem, because see, previously when newcomers were coming to Canada, they were additional workforce. Now, and I have said this openly, what we are seeing is workforce replacement. Where, think back 10 years ago when Ontario government increased the minimum wage from $10.25 to $14 in one go. And there were a lot of complaints saying businesses cannot survive, and the counter argument was that if you cannot pay a living wage to your employees, then you don't deserve to be in business. It was kind of a heartless, I felt, that businesses have their own limitations, but now we have flipped it all the way around, where businesses are free to chase the bottom in wages, because there is too much competition in the job market. You see one position open, and then you see a line of maybe 500 mostly young men from India who are lined up there for that one job. So that is the kind of competition where employers are now in a completely commanding position. So it's a complete flip in 10 years.
And employers might be exploiting also these youths.
Oh, that is known. Within the Indo-Canadian community, it is general knowledge. Although again, this is one thing that has rarely been highlighted by mainstream media. But because of that, now we are entering, or we are in summer, and a lot of people will be unhappy that their teenage children cannot get a job because the employer has employed international students or temporary foreign workers, sometimes by selling them the LMIA, which entitles them to get the job. So, that kind of resentment against one community is not good for the healthy society.
Did you ever talk to any elected officials, MP, MPP, that we are doing a mass immigration, where the jobs for the local kids were?
No, I haven't spoken to any of them. This momentum needs to build before they will take it seriously, otherwise they will not.
So how you see in general, Darshanji, that we have the students' protest going on, and islands, they want to get a PR. Then we have these issues coming up with the fake marriages, with the refugee applications, and the number of applications what we discussed. that 526 plus applications per day of a refugee, that may go to 1000 per day a refugee, and after 4 5 6 years those applications may get rejected also. Then they will be losing their 5 years, and then what after that?
They will protest probably.
They will protest
Just the way the international students
because they lived here 10 years, so now they don't want to go back.
Or they may have got married, they may have got children who now, because they were born in Canada, they have a right to stay here, and you cannot separate the family. So when you don't attend to a problem in a timely manner,
Yes.
it becomes more and more complicated.
So what you'll say to the Canadian public about these issues they want to hear from you?
My main message today is to mainstream media and to politicians to realize what is happening on the ground and take action, whatever action is within their area of work or jurisdiction. Take action so that the problem doesn't become worse than it already is.
ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਜੀ।
ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਨਿਤਿਨ ਜੀ।
ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ। ਆ ਸੀਗੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਮਹਾਰਾਜਾ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਬਲੌਗਰ, ਇੱਕ ਸੋਸ਼ਲ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇਸ਼ੂਜ਼ ਤੇ ਕਾਫੀ ਤਿੱਖੀ ਨਜ਼ਰ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਹੈ। ਅਸੀਂ ਅੱਜ ਜੋ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ 'ਚ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ, ਮੈਂ ਅਗਰ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ 'ਚ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਸਮਝਾ ਦਾਂ ਕਿ ਰਿਫਿਊਜੀ ਦੀ ਐਪਲੀਕੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਹੈ 526 ਪਲੱਸ ਐਪਲੀਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਹਰ ਰੋਜ਼ ਲੱਗ ਰਹੀਆਂ, ਔਰ ਜਨਵਰੀ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਮਈ 2024 ਤੱਕ, ਜਨਵਰੀ 2024 ਤੋਂ ਮਈ 2024 ਤੱਕ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਡਾਟਾ ਹੈ 79,000 ਪਲੱਸ ਐਪਲੀਕੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਰਿਫਿਊਜੀ ਸਟੇਟਸ ਦੀਆਂ ਲੱਗ ਚੁੱਕੀਆਂ। ਔਰ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਬਾਈਫਰਕੇਟ ਕਰੀਏ ਤੇ ਇਹਦੇ 'ਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਵਿਜ਼ਿਟਰਸ ਦੀ ਐਪਲੀਕੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਵੀ ਹੈ, ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟਸ ਦੀ ਵੀ ਹੈ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵਰਕ ਪਰਮਿਟ ਤੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੂੰ PR ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲ ਰਹੀ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਲੱਗ ਰਹੇ ਹੈ। ਕਾਫੀ ਕਾਲਜਸ ਦੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਨੰਬਰ ਡਾਟਾ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਆਏ ਹੈ। ਆ ਜੋ ਡਾਟਾ ਸ਼ੇਅਰ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਰਿਫਿਊਜੀ ਬੋਰਡ ਦਾ ਡਾਟਾ ਹੈ, 79,000 ਐਪਲੀਕੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਇਨ 5 ਮੰਥਸ, 526 ਐਪਲੀਕੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਪਰ ਡੇ। ਔਰ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਫੇਕ ਮੈਰਿਜਸ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕੰਟਰੈਕਟਸ ਮੈਰਿਜਸ, ਉਹ ਵੀ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਕੇਸਿਸ। ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਫੇਕ ਮੈਰਿਜਸ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਗੇ ਮੈਰਿਜਸ, ਕਿ ਸਾਡੀ PR ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ, ਅਸੀਂ ਗੇ ਹੈ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ PR ਲੈ ਲਈਏ, LGBTQ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਵੀ ਕੇਸਿਸ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਆਊਗੇ। ਲੇਕਿਨ ਆ ਸਾਰੇ ਨੂੰ ਅਗਰ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਲੰਬਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਛੱਡ ਦਾਂਗੇ ਉਨੇ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਇਸ਼ੂਜ਼ ਕ੍ਰੀਏਟ ਹੋਊਗੇ ਲੇਟਰ ਔਨ। ਫਿਰ ਪ੍ਰੋਟੈਸਟ ਵੀ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੇ ਹੈ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟਸ ਦੇ ਕਿ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਡਾ ਹੱਕ ਦਿਓ, ਸਾਡੀ PR ਦਿਓ, ਉਹ ਵੀ ਚੱਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ। ਮਾਸ ਇਮੀਗ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਮਾਸ ਇਮੀਗ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇੰਪਲੋਇਮੈਂਟ 'ਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਅਸਰ ਪਿਆ। ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲੋਕਲ ਯੂਥ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਕਾਲਜਸ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀਜ਼ ਤੋਂ ਪੜ੍ਹੇ ਹੈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਜੌਬਸ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਹੈ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਅਗਰ LCBO ਜਾਂ ਟਿਮੋਟਨ 'ਚ ਇੱਕ ਜੌਬ ਨਿਕਲਦੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਬਾਹਰ ਲਾਈਨਅਪ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ 300-400 ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਜੌਬ ਸਿਨੈਰੀਓ ਵੀ ਕੀ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਇਹਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਸਰਕਾਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਲਦ ਤੋਂ ਜਲਦ ਐਕਸ਼ਨ ਲੈਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ, ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਇਟਸ ਆਊਟ ਆਫ ਕੰਟਰੋਲ ਨਾਓ। ਵੀ ਹੈਵ ਸੀਨ ਦ ਸਿਚੁਏਸ਼ਨ ਇਜ਼ ਨਾਟ ਗੁੱਡ ਅਕ੍ਰੋਸ। ਸੋ ਇਹਦੇ 'ਤੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਆ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇਸ਼ੂਜ਼ ਆ ਰਿਜ਼ੋਲਵ ਕੀਤੇ ਜਾ ਸਕਣ। ਅਸੀਂ ਆ ਸ਼ੋਅ 'ਚ ਅੱਜ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਜੀ, ਆਪਕਾ ਇੱਕ ਬਾਰ ਫਿਰ
ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ।
ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ।